let us begin then at the beginning where we typically start. And thank you for being my parental pulpit where I could share my thoughts and feelings and emotions. I appreciate it. You guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start off with just some simple body weight action. We're just gonna step backwards, alternating legs, touching the ground, and lunging. And again, I like going backwards because it keeps the knee where it's supposed to be, and it makes it easier for people to control the angle, okay? All right, 30 seconds of stepping backwards and lunging begins now. Happy belated Mother's Day. If we have any moms in the group today, hopefully you had a good day. And it's a little warm this weekend too. Oh my gosh. And now today we have somewhat grayish skies and it's breezy. We got 10 seconds. Ooh. I was bummed out. I did not get to see an episode of, all right, cool. Now we're gonna go side lunges of The Last Dance because I've already seen 6 of the episodes that have been released. I am binging that one. I love it. That, and I've been watching loads of the Korean baseball organization on ESPN. Oh, so nice. And it's really cool. They have, okay, now we're going to go curtsy lunges. Let's go right foot stepping back first. They have a whole bunch of major leaguers that used to play over there that ESPN interviews during the games. Their stories are really cool. This is loosening up the hips, by the way. My hips are telling me that I needed this loosening up. And this shirt today is more symbolic of not being 48, but celebrating the 19th anniversary of my 29th year. Okay, let's go for a single leg squat and take the right elbow in front of that left knee. There we go, up and down, nice and easy because we're just getting loose. Today we're gonna go after some split stance movements. Like I said, we'll stretch the hip flexor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys a minute to bang out 8 to 12 reps of each exercise per side, okay? And then we'll take a stretch break in between. All right, switch. Like I said, I think you'll like it. Today, if you do the Instagram, follow Ben Bruno. He is a trainer who has absolutely hilarious content. Today, just go check him out and look at the way he was training his client Phil today. It's pretty darn funny. Okay, let's go down to the ground and I'm gonna turn that off. Let's go down to the ground for some bird dogs, please. Alternating arms and legs. So do any of you who are here have exercise bands that you can attach to something, a stability ball or a suspension trainer of some kind, you know, TRX or whatever? Because if you do, then I can open up, okay, now we're going dead bugs. I can open up the programming menu a little bit and put that stuff in addition to body weight and dumbbells. If you do, great. If you don't, that's okay too. Okay, we're alternating. Remember, low back smashes the marshmallow as you move. Oh, my quads are really tight. Today is Monday. We did a hard workout Saturday, so I guess I'm not surprised. There we go. All right, very good. Let's flip it over for the bird dogs again, please. And Lion, we shall do one more lap of the dead bugs, and I will deem you folks ready to go. A warm-up doesn't really have to be a super intense, crazy thing. Just get a bunch of muscles moving, multiple muscles, multiple joints at the same time. Why is my watch beeping like that? There we go. 5 seconds, guys. Okay, cool. Flip it over. Oh, my children don't get mad at daddy for smearing their chalk creations out here. Yeah. So oddly enough, this exercise, marching and skipping, for some reason, and Christine, I don't know if you've seen this or not, just destroys people's brains. It's funny. Like this pattern of the dead bug, this is walking. You're just upside down. Skipping has almost made people cry because I've asked them to do it. Alrighty then, let us begin. Let me get the menu here. All right, so like I said, we got 4 sets of what we're gonna do. We're gonna set, so we've been doing a lot of single leg RDL stuff. What we're gonna do is we're gonna split our stance today, like so. Okay, I want the feet hips distance apart, and then we're gonna leave that right heel up or whatever the back heel happens to be. We're gonna fold at the hips, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take whatever you're holding on to about the knees, okay? And you're really pushing your hips back to load the glutes and stretch the hamstring on that front leg. And then you come up, okay? And then after that, what we're gonna do, if you have a broomstick or something to that effect, great. If you don't, great. We're gonna do a hip flexor stretch. Okay, if you have a stick of some sort, you can go out here. We don't want the shoulders getting behind here because all you're doing is stretching out your hip capsule. You're not stretching the muscle, okay? So if you don't have that, then what you can do is get under, pull this foot back, and you can just go into a stretch like that. Some of you may have some tension in your quad muscles. You might feel a little stretch right there. If you do, that is all right. Okay, so again, 8 to 12 repetitions. And we have a minute for each side, and that'll start right now. So let's go right foot back, left foot forward, to there, and up. Sit back. You should be feeling that left glute quite a bit. There's 8, 9, and there's 10. Okay, I'm switching feet. Oh, hello, hammy stretch. Woo! That was a. All right. If you finish your 8 to 12 reps well within the time that we're working here, then what you can do is at the bottom of each rep, hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, 2, 3, and come up. Woohoo! 15 seconds. Glutes! Yoza! Okay, we got 7 seconds, and we shall do a hip flexor stretch. Let us drop the left knee first. All right, cool. Here we go, folks. Left knee goes down. If you have a stick, your left hand goes on top, other hand goes on the bottom. Go forward. And again, a broomstick works, definitely. Just something, I don't know, what is that? 4 foot or so, roughly? Oh, go in and out. So again, everything goes forward from the shoulder to the knee. All right, go ahead and switch sides. You will find out that after you stretch your hip flexors a little bit, the next time we go into that split stance hip hinge movement, it's going to be easier to get the glutes to fire up. You don't know if that's something you are interested in. Nothing's going to happen. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and grab our weights again. Let's put that left foot forward, the right foot's back, hinge, handle to the knee, back up you go. Just remember, you're still driving the ribs and hands down towards the floor. And if it's light, hang out at the bottom of the movement for 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, I'm switching up. We got 45 seconds, guys. And if you want more of a challenge, you could always go to the single leg version. And wow, there's 10. Okay, 15 seconds on the regular clock. Woo. Hello, glutes. If you want a deeper hip flexor stretch, you can also elevate your front foot. Okay, that's going to put a heck of a lot more stretch into the motion. Okay, we got about 30 seconds here. You can also rotate. If you want a deeper stretch, you can reach, oh mama, over the top. And if you have a stick or something, push down on it as you stretch. If you don't, again, make sure your pelvis is underneath you. We want to squeeze the glute on that back side, because that glute in the back side firing up is what loosens this up. It's like flexing the triceps and the biceps relax. Same idea. Okay, switch sides, please. Nice and easy. 10 seconds. And then we'll go back for our third lap of 4. Okay, here we go, folks. Let's pick them up. And let's get into that split stance position. And off you go. Here's 6, 7. Think about hooking a water bucket with your chin on the way up, especially, and that will activate your core that much more and allow you to get into the glutes more. $20 seconds, guys. Okay, we got one more stretch here in 10 seconds. For 3, 2. Okay, cool. So let's get right foot forward, left foot back, and let's get into a little bit of a stretch. I'm gonna ride my hand up. You can ride your hand up. You have your stick there. Again, if you don't, you can just leave that up. As you go into your stretch, reach up nice and tall, then relax. Reach up nice and tall and relax. Go ahead and switch sides. All right, so we will not be taking the 90-second breather in between what we've been doing because we are stretching right now. 14 seconds and then we'll do our last lap. And then I have a pulling motion for us. Okay, go ahead and pick them up. Split your stance. Off you go. Get the center of the frame. And you only have to go down about 45 degrees and come back up. All of the motion takes place at the ball and socket joint in the hips. Oh, this exercise always gets me. All right, keep going. We have 30 seconds. Okay, so next we have a rowing motion. Go ahead and finish up that which you were doing, and then we will go into the rowing motion, which will be the split stance thing that we've been doing. And good. Okay, cool. Let's get into our hip flexion stretching real quick. Unwind. We will go. And before you get going today, either with the thumbs up or a thumbs down thing, or actually no, in the chat box, let me know how you liked this pace. Because if you like it, then we can incorporate it more. I think it's a nice way to unwind from the weekend if you're super active riding or hiking or running. And it will still work your muscles quite a bit, but you'll get to put some mobility work in it, which is always a nice thing to do. Plus, it'll give you good habits as well, because you could do that stretching on your own. All right, go. Somebody asked me, how often should I stretch? I said, every day that ends in the letter Y. They had this look of utter confusion on their face when I said that. And then one of their friends kind of went like that and said, every day, dummy. Oh. It's the simple things that people miss sometimes. 9 seconds. Okay, very good. So here's how we're going to play the next one. We are going to do a row. Okay, we're going to get the hand on something again, and we're going to start our lawnmower. And then after that, what you're going to do is we're going to stretch out half of the shoulders and the chest. Okay, so you're going to have your arms straight on one. If you split your stance and you turn the rib cage toward your front side, and then you come back, turn it away from the arm that's being stretched and come back. Okay, that active isolated stretching that you do, you'll be able to pick up more range of motion. Okay, all right, people, let us get into our split stance rowing. And again, 8 to 12 reps, or the timer going off, whatever comes first per arm. Remember, you're pushing down. On the bracing arm, just as hard as you are the working arm. All right, 12. right. Oh, I've got about 20 seconds and one. We shall stretch. And let us get the right arm up first. In 3, 2, and go. All right, cool. So split the stance. Hand is about somewhere between 45 degrees and parallel. Rotate the rib cage to your left. 1, 2, come back to the center. Rotate the rib cage to the left. 1, 2, come back to the center. You may get a stretch from the elbow into the mid chest. You're gonna feel it where you're the tightest. Lucky for me, my right bicep seems to be very much full of tension today. Okay, go ahead and switch sides, please. So now we'll get the left arm up there, rotating the ribs to the right. Yeah, left side feels better. Oddly enough. Okay, about 10 seconds. All right, cool. Let's go back and bang out another set of rows, please. All right, there's 12, up there too. All right. Woo! That's good stuff right there. Okay, folks, we have about 20 seconds. And I'm going to be drinking my green tea here, which I really like to drink during a workout. Seems to give me a little more of a kick. Plus, you have a whole antioxidant thing. This is not a bad idea. Okay, let's go after that right bicep shoulder combo. Split your stance. Squeeze the shoulders together. Rotate to the left. And again, we are stretching out the front as we're working the back. You stretched out the hip flexors because typically when you go after the hip flexors, you get much better glute function. Stretching doesn't take care of tight muscles. We've covered that a little bit. What it does, long story short, put length in one muscle, it's a lot easier to get another one to turn on. All right, cool, switch. Again, left foot forward. I'm sorry, left foot is back, right foot forward. Rotating the rib cage to the right. Really good book on stretching by a guy named Kelly Starrett, S-T-A-R-R-E. I don't know if it's a pair. At any rate, it's called something supple leopard, and it has quite a few really nice stretching mobility movements in it. Okay, let's go for another set of rows, please. Alrighty then. And 12 on my end of the fence here. Another really good book, Active Isolated Stretching by Aaron Mattis. Stretching while with movement. Good stuff. Very good. 10 seconds, folks. 10 seconds. One of the stretches in the Stirred book is you get the 41-inch loop band, you attach it to something, and then you just get out, and it pulls. Oh, so good. Okay, let us get the right arm up. And turn. 1, 2, and back. 1, 2, back. Make sure the pelvis is tucked under. And you do it. You're not rotating your lumbar spine where it's not supposed to be. Hopefully, you are finding this time around, right switch, that you have some more range of motion. And that is the goal, my friends. You don't want to be more flexible, you want to be more mobile. You only get the amount of mobility that your joint stability can support. We're almost there. Okay, cool. So now we're going to bang out our last set of rows. Here we go. All right. 12. Oh, all right, cool. 12 and 12. Oh, that was good stuff. That was good stuff. All right, we have about 20 seconds for you to finish up that last few reps. The next set of things we're going to do will be of the squat variety. And we're going to do a split stance squat. 3, 2, and let us stretch out that top shelf again, please. So we'll stretch here, and then we're going to put our foot up on something, and we will squat. If you are so inclined, you may hold on to a pair of weights. You may hold on to one weight on the side of the foot that's up on your chair. Okay, let's switch it up. About 5 seconds. Okay, very good. So, like I said, we're going to put the foot up on something. And then what we're going to do in between sets, because we want to give more range of motion to the hip of the working leg, we are going to go down to the ground and we'll do either a 90-90 stretch, or if you've got the range in the hips, we'll do pigeon pose stretch. Okay, and that'll be in between each set of the rear foot elevated split squat, and that'll start here momentarily as soon as I get the panometer going here. Okay, the clock shall start momentarily. So let's get that right foot up. I'm going to hold something on one side, and again, 8 to 12 reps. Don't let the shoulders get behind the hips. We want to keep them in a straight line with the knee of the foot that is up on this elevated surface. So we don't really need to stretch out the hip flexors and the quads because that should already be happening to some extent by sheer virtue of the foot that is up on chair or couch or whatever you got going on. Okay, 7 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go pigeon pose. Start for that right hip first. And again, could be a 90-90 position, or you can go full pigeon, whatever you feel. I like to go back and forth as I do this stretch. You can even reach to the right, which is going to get into a lat stretch in addition to the stretch of the hip. Kind of that opposite or the diagonal. Ah, you people thought you were going to escape hearing that word. Position. Okay, switch sides. Again, 90-90 or full pigeon. Oh, left hip. What are you doing being that much tighter today? You were not given permission for that. Today the kids hit me with, we will only do our homework if, and then they rattle off, all 47 of their demands. Okay, cool. Let's go back to elevated rear foot on the left. I'm sorry, right, on the right. Squatting up and down on the left. Woo, there's 10. All right, we got 30 seconds, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 10. And if you're concerned with volume today, keep in mind, we got roughly, what did we get? 4 times 8 to 12. So 32 to 48 reps of movement per exercise. Okay, right hip. That's quite a few reps. And I like this kind of pace because it lets me go a little heavier, which is nice. Oh, this feels good. Okay, now that feels good, switch up. Oh, I like this. 15 seconds. Okay, let's go back to that rear foot elevated squat. Right foot's up first. Up and down we go. All right, so I'm gonna switch. So it's taken me about a minute to get 10 reps per side. Ooh, about 14 seconds. How did I get faster on that one? Oh, and hopefully you are finding that flexibility movements in between. It's giving you a chance to not only recover, but find yourself moving better the next time. I guess I could be doing this particular movement while we're binge watching Something on Hulu or Netflix or Amazon Prime. All right, we'll switch it up here momentarily. Okay, cool. Go ahead and switch. $15 seconds. And then we'll go back to set number 4. Oh. All right, let's go ahead and go back to that last set. Oops, right foot. Here we go. Make sure that that left big toe's grabbing the ground quite a bit. And if you think about it, instead of that 30-second break that we get in between sides, which still equates to 60 seconds, we are taking a 60-second break total with stretching. So all of the pacing is still the same. Okay. Woo! Okay, let us go back down and get the hips stretched out. And then after this, we're going to go to the ground and we're going to do the floor press. That is next. Okay, but first, a hip stretch. And then in between floor presses, we'll stretch out the lats. Because push muscles are opposite to pull muscles. And the lats are pull muscles. Very big stabilizer of the core too, by the way, the lat muscles. Everybody thinks it's just the abs, but it's the abs and the glutes and the lats, primarily. There's a lot of other people in the supporting cast, but those are the big ones. All right, switch it up. We will go down to the floor and press. All righty then. And cool. Okay. Let us get to the floor for press motions, people. Okay, go ahead and go down the floor. Let's put the weight into our right hand first. And up we go. So remember, we are smashing a marshmallow with the low back. We're doing 8 to 12 reps. We're driving the left elbow into the ground as the right hand goes up. Because that gives you more power to your push when you pull. Okay, that is 8. Smash the marshmallow with the low back. Woo! Okay, so you can stretch out the lat. Excuse me. Think of child's pose. Let's reach across the body with the left hand. And that should open up the left side of your body for you really nicely. Oh man, that feels good. The further you reach across, the more of a stretch you'll feel. Should not feel any discomfort on the top of your shoulder at all. If you do, back off the stretch. All right. right, switch. Oddly enough, the lat that has thrown a baseball for 41 years. Yeah, that's weird. That's sarcasm, my friends. Okay, let's put that weight back in the right hand. Fly down, and off we go. Drive the left arm down. Let's not forget about that. And my feet, so I'm going to switch. And you might find one pull to push combo easier to work with. Super normal. And flat stretch. Let's get left arm across the body first. Oh, you can also try to take your right hip closer to your left hand, so side plank. And that will also put more length into that left lat area. Okay, now that feels good. Let's switch it up. And then we'll go back to the chest press. Anyway, okay, so we'll know where to do this in the next break. Okay, here we go. I like keeping the elbow really close to the side because I feel like it helps me activate my chest muscles more. Okay, I've got 8, we got 22 seconds. All right, lat stretch, people. Left side. Oh, there we go. So again, don't forget, let me know if you like this pace or not. Oh. Okay, switch. Then we'll bang out our last stretch. And then we'll do one more lat stretch, and that'll be it, my friends. Okay, last set. People, here we go. This is every bit an ab exercise as well. That was a good time. That was a good time. All right. As promised, here is the alternative lat stretch. I really like this one quite a bit. We're going to hold 2 arms in this position. We're going to go for 45 seconds. What you are going to do is go to a couch or a chair and put your elbows like this and just drop down, and you will get the same step that we did for another one. But instead of that diagonal stretch, you just get a nice opening straight ahead. You can also do this on the ground, pardon me, your piece fell as well. Some of you might feel a stretch like that. And again, we're opening up the lats. It feels good. Everybody's going to go have an amazing afternoon. All right, folks. We are done today. Thank you so much for coming. I do appreciate it. Have an absolutely incredible afternoon, and we will see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.